I was a little heartbroken. The setback was quite big for me. From my experience, I would say that videos, relying only on the videos is not going to help you get far or help you get get through the entire process, because it is passive way of learning, and you are not actively involved, or you are not able to grasp the concepts properly as much as you could have done by practice. So just by watching videos, it's not going to be very helpful in the
Yeah.
long run.
On a scale of 10, how would you rate utility of Edzorb Law in a judicial preparation?
So I would rate it as 10 on 10 completely.
Hello everyone. So today we have Edzorbian Riya Chakravorty with us. She has recently secured 10th rank in Chhattisgarh Judicial Service Examination 2023. Over to you, Riya. Please briefly introduce yourself.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Riya Chakravorty, and I have completed my graduation from Hidayatullah National Law University, Raipur, in the year 2021. Thereafter, I was placed in a law firm based out of Delhi. Along with my job, I continued my preparation for judicial services. Then I left my job after 2 years and appeared for Chhattisgarh Judicial Services examination. And in my very first attempt, I could clear this exam, sir.
Good to hear about your academic journey so far, Ria. Congratulations. So first
Thank
question
you,
that
ma'am.
comes from my side is how are you feeling after becoming a judge? Family का reaction कैसा रहा? अब कैसा लग रहा है? So could you please brief us?
Ma'am, I'm very happy. My family is also very, very happy. It was my father's dream to see me as a judge. He was my inspiration. He has always inspired me, motivated me throughout the process. So, unka dream fulfill karke, I feel very blessed. So, I'm very happy.
Alright, Riya. Now let's get into the nitty-gritties of your preparation. Tell us about your judicial preparation journey. कैसे शुरू किया आपने ये बताइए और ये भी बताइए कि आपको जो मोटिवेशन था वो कहाँ से आया जिससे आपने अपने जुडिशरी जर्नी को शुरू किया और आपने इतने कम समय में अपना पूरा ड्रीम कल्मिनेट कर लिया। ये जर्नी कैसी रही? एक हमें जनरल ओवरव्यू दे दीजिए आपके प्रिपरेशन के बारे
Yes, sir. So, as I've already mentioned that in my final year, I was placed in a law firm. But due to pandemic, the mode of work was work from home. So, since I was working from home, so I could take out time for my preparation. And my father always motivated me to begin my judicial services preparation. So that's how I began my journey from there, along with the job in parallel to my job. Thereafter, I prepared for 1 year in which I prepared all my notes of all the major subjects. Thereafter, I gave prelims for Rajasthan Judiciary, which I couldn't clear. Thereafter, MPCJ came in 2022, in which I missed the prelims cut off by a bare few marks. Then this Chhattisgarh examination came, and I could clear it in my first attempt.
Riya, after hearing this, I feel that your journey is like a roller coaster. So, how did you reinvent yourself after setback in MPJs?
Yes, sir. Since I had scored decent marks in MPCJ in my first attempt there, initially I was expecting to get through. So I started my preparation for mains right from the beginning only. Thereafter, when the results came, I was a little heartbroken. The setback was quite big for me, since it was the first time that I really prepared very hard and I couldn't get through. So I took a short time for myself. I took a break, and thereafter, in August 2022, notification for Chhattisgarh Judiciary came out for 48 posts. Then I prepared myself. I started preparing myself for Chhattisgarh, and I shifted my focus from MPCJ to Chhattisgarh completely so that I don't falter in this part. And thereafter, I was fortunate enough to get through this.
साउंड फैंटास्टिक रिया। सो अब आप मुझे ये बताओ रिया कि एक बहुत पर्टिनेंट क्वेश्चन है जो मोस्टली जुडिशरी एस्पिरेंट्स के दिमाग में आता है कि एक स्टेट पर फोकस करें या मल्टीपल स्टेट पर फोकस करें, बिकॉज एज यू नो द वैकेंसीज ऑफ जुडिशरी आर अनप्रेडिक्टेबल एंड वॉलेटाइल। सो इज इट वाइज फॉर एस्पिरेंट्स टू गो विद मल्टीपल स्टेट्स, बिकॉज वी हैव बीन told since our childhood not to keep all our eggs in one basket, and do you think कि थोड़ा सा रिस्क बाइफिकेटेड होना चाहिए? So what is your opinion about this?
So I believe that one should be very clear about the target states, because one cannot go after each and every states, क्योंकि सारे states का जो pattern होता है, syllabus होता है, it's very different. So I had picked out my target states as Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh, since the syllabus is quite similar. Uh, Otherwise, मेरा ये भी strategy था, क्योंकि vacancies काफी uncertain होती है, तो मेरा ये स्ट्रैटेजी था कि जो एग्जाम्स मेरे सामने आएंगे आई कीप ऑन अपेयरिंग फॉर दोज एग्जाम्स एंड सिंस छत्तीसगढ़ इज माय होम स्टेट माय टारगेट वाज छत्तीसगढ़ ओनली राइट फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग। सो इससे पहले मुझे राजस्थान एंड एमपीसीजे का अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला, सो आई टुक दैट अप, जिससे मेरी छत्तीसगढ़ के लिए प्रिपरेशन अच्छी हो गई और उससे मुझे मेरी वीकनेसेस पता चल गई एग्जाम्स के थ्रू, तो आई कुड परफॉर्म बेटर इन छत्तीसगढ़। सो दिस वाज माय स्ट्रैटेजी कि जो वैकेंसी सामने आए वन शुड कीप प्रिपेयरिंग थ्रू वैकेंसीज ओनली।
So, Ria, we have spoken about this pertinent thing that it is better to bifurcate the risk of states. And Adsorb also advises the same thing that never ever focus on a single state. You should definitely have 2 to 3 states in mind because vacancies are unpredictable and volatile. In syllabus approx, जो similar states होते हैं, they have a similar kind of syllabus. Certain changes are there here and there. That's it. Okay, Ria, moving further, we want to ask you, what was your strategy to clear this exam? Tell us about prelims, mains, and if you want, you can cover the interview as well. So, can you please tell us about the highlights of your preparation?
Yes, sir. So, since I'd already prepared for RJS and MPCJ, and I have also faced one setback in MPCJ, so I was very clear right from the beginning that I have to focus on prelims along with mains. So, there should be integrated preparation right from the beginning because once prelims results are out, one do not have sufficient time to prepare notes and practice sufficiently to appear for mains. So, it's advisable that a candidate is well prepared right from the beginning of their preparation journey. There should be integrated preparation for both prelims and mains. And along with this integrated preparation, I believe the interview preparation is also completed through this process only, sir.
Alright, Riya, we are really ecstatic to hear कि आपने इस आर्ट ऑफ इंटीग्रेशन को समझा और इतने कम समय में अपने जुडिशरी ड्रीम को रियलाइज किया। बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं जो ये समझ ही नहीं पाते कि प्रीलिम्स और मेंस की जो प्रिपरेशन है वो आइसोलेशन में नहीं करनी होती है। वो प्री पेंडेमिक वाला एरा था जो चला गया। आज की प्रिपरेशन डिमांड्स इंटीग्रेशन एंड आपको प्रीलिम्स और मेंस को साथ में लेकर चलना पड़ेगा अगर आपको रैंक जल्दी चाहिए। अगर आपको ये पंचवर्षीय योजना बनानी है देन इट्स टोटली डिफरेंट स्टोरी। So never ever in the judiciary preparation, you have to prepare for prelims and mains and silos. You have to always do integration. And Riya Chakravorty is in front of us, who has learnt the art of integration and has got a rank in her Chhattisgarh Judiciary examination in her maiden attempt.
All right, I totally agree with you, Mentor, on the same. So, Ria, please tell all the judiciary aspirants what was your mantra for prelims and mains.
Ma'am, my single most important mantra that I would like to share is that one has to practice a lot. In prelims, one has to practice MCQs and question banks along with explanations so that one is not only attempting questions but realizing their mistakes also by way of MCQs and mocks only. Because while we are reading for prelims, we often do not understand that what are our gray areas. So by practicing only, we get to know that where we are lagging behind, where we are falling short. So that is my most important mantra that I've practiced a lot for both prelims and mains.
Exactly, Riya. I totally agree with you कि रिजल्ट ओरिएंटेड जुडिशरी प्रिपरेशन का मंत्र यही है कि आप हॉलिस्टिक प्रिपरेशन करें इन प्रीलिम्स और मेंस को क्लब कर ले एंड जो ट्रेडिशनल स्टाइल है प्रिपरेशन का उससे बात नहीं बनेगी। माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन टू यू इज व्हाट अकॉर्डिंग टू यू इज द बेस्ट वे फॉरवर्ड टू क्लियर द प्रीलिम्स एंड मेंस इन वन गो इटसेल्फ?
I believe that one has to practice a lot. As I've already mentioned, that in my first attempt only in MPCJ, when I had prepared, I thought that I'm well prepared. Still, I was lagging behind since I was only relying on video lectures, and I thought that I'm prepared by seeing those lectures only. Whereas I didn't realize that I haven't practiced well enough to get to the qualifying marks for the cutoff. So after that setback from MPCJ, I realized that practice is the only key to success, and one can only get through by way of practice only. So that is how I realized the importance of practice, and then I followed that only.
राइट रिया, एक और चीज है जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है आपके जुडिशियल प्रिपरेशन जर्नी में, वो है आपके नोट्स जो आपको रैंक ला कर देते हैं. सो रिया, व्हाट वाज योर नोट्स मेकिंग स्ट्रेटजी एंड हाउ डिड यू गो अबाउट इट?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, initially, in my first year of preparation, I had prepared notes for all the major subjects first to have a conceptual clarity, to have a grasp over the subjects. Then, after MPCJ, I realized that only these hefty notes are not going to help me to get through, then I shifted to a practical diagrammatic notes making approach. And then for mains, since we have only judgment writing for Chhattisgarh, I realized that it is important to supplement our notes with recent judgments and case laws. And I realized that one can fetch better marks. So I had prepared short notes for case laws and actus reus and means area for specific offenses, legal maxims. These were the few things I believe is helpful to fetch better marks. So I relied on those factors in my note making process now.
So good to hear that, Ria. Really very impressive. I can see how innovative you were at, notes making. And I can see that you are a true adsorbian. You have made notes in consonance with what adsorb provides. So nice.
Moving forward, Ria, my next question to you is, which I want to ask you, that Adsorb has a very unique feature that is Maze Blueprint. So can you please share your views about these blueprints and tell us how can judiciary aspirants use these Maze blueprints in the best possible manner?
Yes, sir. So, in the beginning of my preparation, so I didn't have the direction as to how to proceed with the note making process and how to prepare for mains. So, I had prepared very exhaustive, hefty kind of notes, which I later on realized that it is not going to help me in the long run to clear the exams. Then I got to know about the blueprint feature of Edzorb, wherein all the recurring questions that are repeated in the mains are there in the consolidated version. So this blueprint is very exhaustive and very helpful for the students to know that what all areas are there which a student needs to focus on while preparing for mains, so that they have a better idea as to where to focus on and what not to focus on. So blueprint is going to be very, very helpful for the students in their preparation.
It is wonderful to see that you have understood the technique of मेज ब्लूप्रिंट, क्योंकि मेज ब्लूप्रिंट क्या करता है, ये आपको एक वॉल्ड गार्डन प्रोवाइड कर देता है. सो अनलिमिटेड गार्डन नहीं है कि आपको बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स प्रिपेयर करने हैं, बट वी फेंस यू कि आप इस फेंस के अंदर रहिए और 80-20 रूल का यूज कीजिए, बाय विच 20% कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड एफर्ट करके आपको 80% रिजल्ट मिल जाएंगे. So minimum 80% of the questions will come from here, from this 20% concentrated effort जो आप मेंस प्रूवेंस में करते हो. As you must be knowing that this is the most guarded document of Edzorb Law, and mostly Pre Plus users know that how we have made for all the states, and we cover topics of higher judiciary, lower judiciary, and the predictability of these topics is very high to come in the exams. Now moving forward, Ria, नेक्स्ट वी वांट टू आस्क यू कि छत्तीसगढ़ जुडिशरी एग्जामिनेशन में जजमेंट राइटिंग का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है. इन विदाउट प्रॉपर कमांड ओवर जजमेंट राइटिंग इट्स इम्पॉसिबल टू क्लियर एग्जामिनेशन इन छत्तीसगढ़. सो हाउ डिड यू हैंडल जजमेंट राइटिंग पार्ट?
Yes, sir. So after MPCJ prelims, which was conducted in May 2022, I was a little optimistic that I may get through. Although my marks was in the boundary only, still I was hopeful that I'll be able to get through. Then I started preparing for mains. I realized that judgment writing is one of the part that is there in MPCJ mains. So I picked up the judgment writing portion first while preparing to have a good hold over it, because this area is something which is not taught to us in our law school. So this was completely new to me. So my first agenda was to get a good hold over judgment writing and translation. Then I had prepared short notes right after prelims only. So after that, I had a basic understanding over this area. Then the results came, and unfortunately, I couldn't get through. I missed the MPCJ cutoff by only 3 marks. So later on, Chhattisgarh Judicial Services vacancies were notified in August 22. So I knew that for mains, there is only judgment writing for Chhattisgarh, and I have already prepared my base by way of MPCJ mains while I was preparing for that. So my preparation was halfway done for mains. So I completely focused on prelims for Chhattisgarh prelims, because I knew that the cutoffs go very high for Chhattisgarh prelims, and it is a very competitive stage as well for Chhattisgarh. So my complete focus was on prelims, and I practiced a lot. I have attempted a multiple mock test practice sets, and I have practiced, and I used to understand my weaknesses by analyzing through those mocks. I used to note down those mistakes in in a notebook so that I do not repeat those mistakes. And that is how I was able to get through.
Ria, for judgment writing, there is a one-stop solution, and that is a judgment writing Powerpack course, in which you get notes, in which you get workbooks, sample judgments, and creative judgments, everything, which you must have also used in your judicial preparation. So, how's your experience after using a judgment writing Powerpack course? Please just let us know.
Yes, sir. So after clearing Chhattisgarh prelims, I was looking for a way to fetch good marks in judgment writing because judgment writing is something which uh, which has a very limited scope of of showing creativity and innovation. There is this format and everything, charge framing, everything is there, and I feel that it increases the competition altogether because one has to improve their writing skills very much so as to fetch better marks. So I was looking for a course wherein I can have a better command over this writing skills so that I could create a difference in my means. Uh, right that time only I discovered Edzorb Law's Powerpack course, wherein there is a systematic step-by-step explanation is given there, wherein how charge framing is to be done, how format needs to be framed, and how marshalling and appreciation and the operative para needs to be written. Everything is there in this Power Pack course. So that was very helpful for me to have a good hold over this judgment writing area. And I have incorporated those tips and tricks in my mains, and I could score well.
Thanks a lot, Ria. And the judgmenting power course which we provide by Absorb, we believe that इसके beyond आपको कुछ नहीं चाहिए, and that is what it can bail you in the judgmenting paper in the mains examination. Ria, it is interesting to see that you have used the absorb content in a very systematic way with a particular technique. So I want to ask you this because many of your audience is going to be of absorb law and generally भी जो दूसरे students होंगे, those who are using a free content of absorb, as you know कि 10 to 15% of our premium content is free. So what is your advice कि best utilization of absorb law content कैसे होना चाहिए? How to utilize the absorb law content in the best possible manner?
Yes, sir. So, in this judgment writing Power Pack course, there is this sample judgment which Edzorb Law provides, and there is a space also given by which the candidates can understand that how much content one is required to write in their emails, and they can also check their answers by way of sample judgments, so that they can know that where they are lagging and if there is any mistakes, so they can rectify those and make corrections and. After that, there is this creative judgment also, wherein all recent judgments are incorporated. So a candidate can include those recent judgments in their mains judgment writing part, and that is very helpful in getting good marks because that is going to create a difference among others if one is able to include recent judgments in their answer. So that definitely creates a edge. So that is going to be very helpful in getting good marks.
India, do you have to say something about the QBanks with explanations which are provided by the Absorb law?
Yes, sir. So, as I've already mentioned that I used to practice a lot, and practice along with explanation. I have utilized QBanks along with explanations, which used to give me conceptual clarity over those parts where I was lagging, where I could understand my weaknesses and my mistakes. And explanation along with the QBanks is very helpful to have a good conceptual clarity. And yes, that has certainly helped me in improvising my preparation.
Thanks a lot, Ria. Ria, now one question which I want to add here is a lot of people have profile insecurity that there is a gap year, work experience nahi hai, we are not from an NLU, etc. etc. So do you think that all these things matter in the exam, interview, or even any particular stage of your selection, or it's just a myth?
So I think it's a myth because in my opinion, it does not matter whether you come from an NLU or traditional university, because at the end of the day, after you are graduated, everyone is on the same pedestal and everyone starts from the straight line only, and there is no supremacy of NLU over traditional law universities. Everyone is same in this competition field. So the competition is very, very high, and it doesn't matter whether you belong to an NLU or not.
Ria, since we are talking about profile insecurity, and usually it is connected with interview, all right? So please tell us how was your interview journey? and what kind of questions were asked to you?
Yes, ma'am. My interview was mostly on practical questions. There were uh, three members in my panel, in my interview board panel, and there was a High Court judge who was putting only practical questions to me, out of which one question was related to Section 144 CRPC, and the question was whether executive magistrate can pass a written order to prohibit marriage or not, uh, while the continuance of 144 is there, whether a wedding can be prohibited or not. So this answer for this question, I was grilled a little. After that, order two, rule two from CPC was there that if a transaction is left out, can it be claimed in a later stage or not? And next question was related to domestic violence, that whether a married woman can file a complaint from her parents' home or not. Because there is this provision in Domestic Violence Act that a married woman has to put complaint and from the matrimonial home, not from parents' home. But if she puts complaint from parents' home, it is whether it is violative of domestic violence provision or not. And the next question was related to the difference between government uh, servant and public servant, which I could not recall at that moment. So I humbly told them that I'm not able to recall at the moment, and they were very kind to let that question go. And uh, so that is important, that if you are not able to recall any question at that particular point of time, that you can politely decline that. And they are very kind. Interview board was very kind to me. And yes, so it was. Then I realized that it is not important to give all the answers. You can let go few questions also. Then also you are going to get good marks. It does not matter that whether you know answers to all the questions or not. So to maintain the temperament is very much important. That's how I've realized after that interview.
So Riya, after hearing this, I think lot of aspirants will feel relaxed because most of the aspirants think कि अगर आपने कोई आंसर के जवाब नहीं दिए, then you will not be getting selected. But it's not the case. You are here in front of us, who is a judicial officer, and you yourself have experienced that it is not necessary to answer each and every question. You can politely decline if you are unaware about any particular answer. So you have to just make sure कि whatever you are telling them or whatever you are answering, it is right and correct according to you. So, Ria, my next question to you is, what approach you have adopted in your preparation? Is it retrospective or prospective? By retrospective, we mean कि first you have referred to the previous papers and the pattern, and then you have start preparing or start studying for the examination. On the other hand, prospective means कि first आपने सारे notes, books and everything have referred, and then you have gone through the previous paper. So, what is approach you have adopted in your preparation?
So in my first year of preparation, I was following the prospective method, whereby I prepared the notes of all the subject first, and then I went ahead with the practice and looking for the pattern of the states and everything. And later on, I realized that this process is not very helpful. So then I changed my strategy to the retrospective method, whereby I looked for the previous year questions once and understood the process of the prelims, that how questions are framed and what all portion do I need to put my focus on put my emphasis on, and then began my preparation. So in my later on stage of preparation, I switched to retrospective method.
All right, listening to your interesting journey, Ria, I have one more question in my mind. Usually, students ask, ma'am, what is the single most important factor or strategy for judiciary mains and judiciary prelims and judiciary services examination?
Ma'am, I would say that the single most important strategy is practice. And uh, I realized after my MPCJ examination that I used to rely a lot on video lectures, and I thought that I'm preparing very well. But later on, I realized that that was not enough, and practice is the sole strategy that can help you to get through. Because it might happen that in video lectures, the faculties might tell you that this is important or this chapter is not important. This is a dead area. Questions might not come from there, or फिर एग्जाम में जाके we can see that the entire paper is set on that portion only which was said to be not so important. So this situation I have faced, कि इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है बोल के छोड़ दिया, फिर बाद में पता चला कि क्वेश्चंस आ गया वहां से और फिर कट ऑफ मिस हो गया. सो इट सो दैट इज हाउ आई रियलाइज दैट प्रैक्टिस इज द ओनली थिंग दैट इज गोइंग टू हेल्प यू गेट थ्रू. प्रैक्टिस एट द स्टेज ऑफ प्रीलिम्स और जजमेंट राइटिंग और ट्रांसलेशन के लिए भी मेंस में बस प्रैक्टिस ही करनी है.
Exactly, Ria. And we also believe कि at the stage of prelims, you should also take into consideration the gray areas, because examiner have a tendency to ask the question from the gray areas, because he also know कि students will skip this particular part. तो वहां से questions पूछते हैं, and that is the part where the student misses, and that is where the student get out the race. Now, Ria, I just forgot to ask you one more important aspect of the preparation. That is, what should be the revision strategy according to you? How should you revise, and how frequently you should revise?
Yes, so I believe that revision is very important because without revision, you tend to forget the concepts, and by not revising, you tend to lose on your marks in the prelims itself. So revision is very important, and my method of revision was through mocks by attempting MCQs because बस बैरक्स पढ़ने से it might happen that you miss out on certain provisos or certain important aspect. वो थोड़ा monotonous हो जाता है and you are not able to understand your gray areas कि कहाँ पे आपसे गलतियां हो रही हैं. तो मॉक और प्रैक्टिस से ही आपको पता चलेगा कि आपके वीकनेसेस कहाँ हैं. फिर उसका एक्सप्लेनेशन देखने से फिर वन कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि कहाँ पे गलती हुई. सो आई यूज टू राइट दोज एक्सप्लेनेशन इन माई बैर एक्ट इटसेल्फ कि अच्छा मुझसे ये गलती हुई थी मॉक में, वो मैं मार्क कर लेती थी, हाईलाइट कर लेती थी और उसके बाद मैं वहां पे लिख के रखती थी. तो प्रीलिम्स के पहले व्हेन आई यूज्ड टू रिवाइज, सो मेरे पास शॉर्ट नोट्स बैर एक्ट में प्रिपेयर्ड होते थे. तो उससे मुझे रिविजन में बहुत हेल्प हुई. सो दैट्स व्हाट आई हैव फॉलोड.
So, Ria, I just want to ask you, what is more important according to you? Important, like watching lectures or practicing? Because students find it easy to enroll for the videos and think कि videos देखने से exam clear हो जाएगा. So, what do you have to say about this?
So from my personal experience, I can very well say that वीडियो लेक्चर से बहुत हेल्प नहीं होती है क्योंकि एक पैसिव वॉचिंग से ऐसा लगता है दैट यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग और वो कॉन्सेप्ट्स आपके दिमाग में रह रहे हैं. बट दैट इज नॉट द केस. यू टेंड टू फॉरगेट थिंग्स क्योंकि उसमें फॉर द टाइम बीइंग यू थिंक दैट यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग. आपका पढ़ाई हो गया, रिविजन हो गया, बट आफ्टर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम दोज कॉन्सेप्ट्स टेंड टू evaporate from your brain. तो इससे बहुत हेल्प नहीं होता है. ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ माय प्रिपरेशन जर्नी आई रियलाइज कि बाय वे ऑफ विजुअल लर्निंग जो एड्सॉर्ब का जो कंटेंट है फॉर छत्तीसगढ़ प्रीलिम्स आल्सो आई रेफर्ड एक्ट्स का जो विजुअल रिप्रेजेंटेशन का जो कंटेंट था, that was very nicely framed, and that has really helped me in my prelims. तो मैंने एक्ट के लिए एड्सॉर्ब लॉ का कंटेंट आई रेफर्ड. देन आई रियलाइज दैट in this is one of the most modern techniques by which students can get through the prelims itself.
Exactly, Ria. And we also believe that practice and revision is extremely important for you to get a rank. Because if you don't revise, you can't retain in the exam. So whatever is your problem, be it prelims or mains or whatever, start focusing on revision, and definitely that problem will go away. So Ria, after this, we will have a quick rapid fire round. But before that, I just want to ask you, what do you have to say about Edzorb Law role in your judiciary preparation journey? And what is your opinion about the content ecosystem provided by Edzorb Law?
Yes, sir. In my opinion, Absorb Law's content is very revolutionary and very modern because till now we have been preparing from books, barracks, and short notes that were readily available to us or which we might have prepared in our law school graduation. Thereafter, this visual learning experience is very different and very interesting because the traditional approach becomes quite monotonous after a point of time, and this visual learning keeps one keeps one motivated to read, and since it is very interesting, तो वो काफी टाइम तक याद रहती हैं चीजें. And yes, so I would say that Absorb's content is very nicely drafted. It's very good, sir.
Ria, thank you for the kind words. Also want to ask you, would you recommend Edzorb Law to the students preparing for the judicial examination?
Certainly, sir. I would highly recommend Absorb to everyone out there.
Perfect. So Ria, we will have a quick rapid fire round for you. And इसमें हम आपसे कुछ questions पूछेंगे and you have to answer them quickly. So my first question to you is, please tell us how you kept yourself motivated in this journey and what did you do for your mental health?
So in my journey, I believe that I was very fortunate that I had my family, my mummy, papa by my side at every given point of time, and they were my constant support system. So they were there to constantly motivate me throughout my process, throughout my journey. And for mental health, I used to go out for walk, used to listen to some music, so that I don't get too much exhausted in my preparation. Or say I used to feel a little recreated also.
Now, Ria, I want to ask you one more question, which lot of students suffer, that how to deal with negativity and toxic relatives during the preparation.
So during my preparation journey, what I followed was that I I used to skip my family gatherings because I thought that any hate comment or any negative comment would affect me, and that will impact my entire preparation only. So I used to shield myself from those comments by not attending those ceremonies at all. So I have missed out on n number of family gatherings throughout my preparation process. And finally, I think that it has helped me a lot.
Next, please tell us about your role model.
So I would say my role model is my father because he was the first one to inspire me to begin my preparation journey in the first place. So he's my role model.
Okay, so Ria, my next question to you is how you used to unwind your day.
Since I was preparing along with my job, so my day would start with my job only, my 10 to 7 job. Then after that, I used to start my preparation. I used to take 1 hour or 2 hour break in between, and then I used to start my day with preparation, with studies. After that, I used to study.
Okay, next question to you is how you used to de-stress yourself during the preparation.
So I used to go out for walk. I used to listen to spiritual music, which would calm me down when I used to be anxious during the process. So that was very helpful to me.
Perfect, Ria. My next question to you is do you think that you can get a rank just by watching videos?
So, from my experience, I would say that videos, relying only on the videos is not going to help you get far or help you get get through the entire process because it is passive way of learning and you are not actively involved or you are not able to grasp the concepts properly as much as you could have done by practice. So, just by watching videos, it's not going to be very helpful in the
Oh,
long run.
all right, Ria. So my next question is how many hours do you use to sleep in your preparation journey?
Yes, sir. So I didn't compromise on my sleep cycle. And since I was also working, I used to take out time in between to have power naps. And so I used to complete my sleep cycle of 7 to 8 hours a day. I didn't compromise on that.
So you were the morning person or you were the evening person?
So a completely evening person. I can never be a morning person. I used to study till late and wake up at around 8 or 9. And thereafter I carried out my day and beach I used to take power naps also to keep me fresh throughout the day.
Yeah, I think after hearing this, many students would feel relieved that night owls are also getting selections in the judiciary examinations. That's great.
Certainly, sir.
All right, Riya, tell us about, is there any important quote that have motivated you throughout your journey?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, while I was preparing, there is this quote which I used to keep on repeating to myself that nothing is impossible because since I was preparing along with my job, so it was a little tedious for me to continue my preparation. So this quote used to inspire me and keep me motivated throughout the process.
Okay, so which was your favorite subject, Riya?
Ma'am, my favorite subject was Code of Criminal Procedure. I used to enjoy reading that.
So, Riya, we have spoken a lot about your strengths, results, success. So, could you please tell us about your weak links in your preparation?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, since I was not able to get through MPCJ. At that moment, I realized that my weakness is that I'm not able to practice enough. I'm not giving enough time to solving QBanks and going through the explanations. So that's how I realized that and rectified my mistake. And in Chhattisgarh's examination, I did not repeat that.
Just to supplement the previous question, Riya, I just have one more thing to ask, and you can also give a long answer to this one. आपको क्या लगता है जुडिशरी एस्पिरेंट्स क्या गलती करते हैं अपनी प्रिपरेशन जर्नी में कि इतने साल उन्हें मेहनत करनी पड़ती है बट स्टिल दे couldn't crack exam, they couldn't secure a rank? What do you think they lack?
Ma'am, I think that integrated studies for prelims and mains is something which candidates do not put enough emphasis on. Initially, I was also like that only, that एक बार vacancy आ गई, then I used to start preparing for prelims only, regardless of the fact कि mains में क्या syllabus है वही नहीं देखा या क्या pattern है वो नहीं पता, बस prelims के लिए पढ़ते हैं. So that is very, very harmful. And integrated studies is the only thing that is going to help anyone get through the process. वो separate independent studies for prelims and then result आ गया तो means के लिए पढ़ लिए, it's not going to work. So integrated studies is the only thing.
All right, Riya, and did you face any breakdown in your judiciary preparation?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, after I couldn't clear MPCJ prelims, I there was this setback was something for which I was not very much prepared. I was expecting to get through. So there was a breakdown, and I took a few days break so that I can calm myself down. And thereafter, later on, Chhattisgarh's vacancies were notified, and I shifted my focus completely to Chhattisgarh and completely forgot about MPCJ's result. And yes, that was helpful to me.
So yeah, we can see that the setback in MPJs haven't let you down, and you have fought it very well and secured the rank in judiciary examination. My next question to you is, what is the role of Jalsa Ma'am in your preparation journey?
So, Jalsa ma'am's voice is very calming. I have heard her podcasts in Telegram, and I used to regularly attend those podcasts. That whenever I used to be anxious, अगर मैम का podcast आ गया, तो I knew that it is going to calm me down. So it was very, very helpful in that regard, and I'm really grateful to Jalsa ma'am for those podcast sessions.
Yeah, so my last rapid fire round question is that on a scale of 10, how would you rate utility of Edzorb Law in a judiciary preparation?
So I would rate it as 10 on 10 completely.
Thanks a
All
lot,
right,
Ria.
Riya. So, Riya, before we wind up this session, do you have any final thoughts? And also, do you have any message for women candidates who are preparing for judicial service examination?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, through my personal experience, I could understand that where I was lagging in my first year of preparation, then by way of introspection, I changed my strategy in my second year of preparation after MPCJ's result, and then I could finally able to get through and get success in my Chhattisgarh's first attempt itself. So it is important to be flexible with your strategies and understand and realize where you are faltering or where you are lagging behind, so that you don't repeat your mistakes. Uh, and it's important to understand कि कहाँ गलतियाँ हो रही है firstly, and secondly I would say that I was very fortunate that I was surrounded with people who were very optimistic, and I had the constant support system in the form of my family, my mentors, and my friends, and seniors also who were right there with me at every given state point of time. So I was very fortunate in that regard. So it's also important to surround yourself with people who give you hope, who give you motivation, so that helps you keep going. And for a message to women candidates that I would like to convey is that women have very wide potential, I would say, since in our Chhattisgarh's result, one can see that in top 10, 9 are women candidates. So this is only a testimony of the fact that how much potential that women carry. So it's important to understand that potential and believe in your capabilities and be consistent throughout, be determined, and you are definitely going to get success in the long run.
Thank you so much, Riya, for sharing your strategy with the students. Thank you.
Thanks a lot,
Thank
Ria,
you.
for giving your valuable time and sharing your strategy. And I hope many judiciary aspirants would be getting help out of your strategy because most of them are going on the wrong track. They are not integrating their preparation. They are preparing the examination for prelims and mains and silos, and they are not focusing on integration. you have focused on the integration part of prelims and mains, and that is the important thing, because that is one thing which will bail you in the examination. So thank you once again for sharing your strategy with us, and we are happy to have you with us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.